Good morning, everyone. We will begin and people will be joining us as we start. My name is Megan Moore, as many of you know, and it is my delight to welcome you all to our March 14th, 2021 Coffee House. We have snowbells and crocus in the garden, yellow crocus and these beautiful, sweet little white purple edged snowbells are really, really very pretty. So welcome. I welcome you on behalf of the Center for Functional Nutrition. And our mission statement is to better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world. And this is one of the ways that we take quite joy in doing that. So I'm going to hand the coffee house over to Brian, who will introduce our guest today.
Thank you, Megan. Always great to look out and see all of your wonderful faces. Thank you so much for creating, connecting, and collaborating with all of us and growing something truly special and worthy and valuable in the world. This only happens because we gather together and create together. So, as always, just thank you for all of you showing up live and for everyone who views this afterwards. We take you in our hearts as well. And please do share this with loved ones, friends, family. We're so grateful that you are all with us. And I'm just thrilled today to be introducing our featured speaker. She got my attention right away because our very own Mr. Wes Hamilton happened to refer her to me. So I knew to pay attention right away. And when I met Deb, it was clear, very clear why Wes, wanted us to connect. And I just immediately had such a great connection with Deb Frischmon as just a human being. As I started to understand her skills and her gifts, I was very impressed and aware that she needed to come into this community to share. And Deb is an author. She wrote a book called Open Your Heart and Journal from Your Soul. I know she'll talk about that today. She also does one-on-one coaching and EFT tapping. She does many complementary protocols and methodologies to really create an immersive experience for the people that she connects with. And she does that one-on-one, and she also does that in group settings. So without further ado, Deb, I'm so grateful and honored that you're with our community today. So please, for those that don't know you, let us know who you are and how you've come to be on our coffee house today.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Okay, good. All right. Hi. Thank you so much for that lovely introduction. And I am grateful to be here. And thank you, Wes. I saw that you jumped on, and Wes he's a mentor of mine. And I'm just pleased that he came up with the idea to join you. I love everything you guys are all about. I've been checking you out all week, and it's just everything you guys stand for is what I'm all about. Live your best life. And yeah, I'm excited to be here. And so you want me to tell how I got into what I'm doing?
Yeah, just, your background, Deb. I know when I heard your story, I just loved it. I know that so yeah, just a bit from the whole picture of you.
Okay, all right. So I'll tell you this, I am a teacher. I'm a teacher at heart, and I was an elementary ed teacher for 18 years. And I loved it, and it was meant to be. And then I had this event in my life happen. My brother, who was 40 years old, transitioned, and he left the planet, and he transitioned, and it really had a huge impact on me. I had a massive awakening at that time of what is this all about? Where is he going? What happens? And so I was having this conversation with God and just saying like, okay, God, like what now? And where is he? And I just asked some really hard questions. And when you ask God hard questions, answers appear. And as the days went on, I would get just nuggets from, I will call the spirit world, where I would be like, a book would appear, or someone that would speak on a topic that I'd be interested in, excuse me, would appear. And excuse me, I woke up with a frog in my throat this morning. And I would just, things just kept coming to me. And then I started like feeling him around me. And I would be like, oh my gosh, like he's actually in my field. And so what happened was, energetically, I just went into remembering like, I used to do this as a kid. I used to feel energy. And I just thought it was totally normal. And so that got me investigating and just kind of curious as to what that was. And so I just started exploring and reaching out to other people, and learning more about this. And at the same time, I'm teaching and I'm loving it, but at the same time, I'm hearing like, there's more for you. Like there's something out there. And I'd be like, what? Like, what do you mean there's more for me? Like I just got my master's in education. I'm only in 18 years. I'm supposed to be here, for the rest of my life and then retire. And I had this like plan, and no, I just kept getting nudges, and I'd be like, what? And suddenly I was like, I just talked to my husband. I'm like, I think I'm gonna end up quitting my job, and I think there's something else out there. And he's just like, okay, like what? And I'm like, I don't know. And so I did end up quitting, and it was really hard for me to give that up. It was like, I live in a small town in Minnesota where it's like winning the lottery to get a teaching job. You literally, like, there's 1,000 applicants for my job. And so when I got the job, it was just like, I thought I was, I had the best life ever. And to give that up and not know what you're going to do. And I ended up going into yoga teacher training, which is a long story. I ended up there, and I'd never done yoga before. Someone handed me a card and said, you might want to try this yoga teacher training. I'm like, okay, God, what do you think? And then I get a message on my BlackBerry at the time. It beeps, and I look down, and it says, yoga clothes at Lucy, 30% off. And I'm like, okay, thank you, done. And that's how I roll. And I would just like, so I signed up for yoga teacher training. And I'll tell you what, that just cracked me wide open. I had no idea what was even out in the world. I was so asleep. And I had no idea I was asleep, but it woke me up, cracked me open. I was like a hard nut to crack, by the way. It was like not just a pistachio that's like part open and like, just easily open. Like I'm like the walnut with the, I'm like, my teacher had to work so hard with me, because I went into that yoga teacher training and I was like, I have it all. I have it all. I have this great husband. My kids are graduated. They went to the colleges they wanted. We're going on trips. We're going to Bora Bora in February. I'm during the school year, which I can now because I'm not teaching. And I thought I had it all. And yet my teacher, my wonderful yoga teacher, she could see that it was all on the outside. There in the inside, there was so much work to be done. And so she would ask, like, she'd ask the whole group, like, where do you need to improve? In order to get up in front and be a yoga instructor, meditation teacher, you want to be solid and grounded. And she said, do you have the need to be right? Do you have the need to be liked? Do you have the need to be special, to be heard, to seen? And I'm like, I don't have any of that. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. I've got it all figured out. And so, yeah, she had to really work hard with me to come up and just break down and be like, I'm messed up. Like I'm all of that. Like I have all of that, and I'm a people pleaser, and I'm actually very miserable on the inside. And yes, I'd go on vacations, but I would get there. I couldn't wait to get to vacation And then I'd get there and I couldn't wait to get home. I was never happy wherever I was. And I didn't realize that that wasn't even normal. Like I thought I didn't know there was more to life than that. And it just felt like my go-to. And so yoga teacher training changed my life. I had a massive awakening. I really started dabbling. I dabbled in Reiki, became, certified in Reiki, numerology. I met wonderful Wes, who was my mentor. I dabbled in meditation with Wes and other teachers where, building my light body and connecting and then everything just, I had a great life. I was manifesting and everything was, but then there's just so much more that I had no idea that it was even possible. So that has been my introduction into like why or how I got here. And I basically, it's all, I learn something and then I teach it. I learn and I teach. So it's a journey, and I'm constantly in the midst of this journey, and this wonderful journey, still learning, still, I just still believe there's always more. There's always more.
Well, thank you, Deb. I so appreciate the authenticity of your story, like, the willingness to tell that to people, to say, hey, I was a hard shell to crack, and I thought that I had it all together, and I'm sure that there are other people that can relate to that, where you're kind of going through life in one mode, and then some things start to happen and you start going, wait a second, like I might be missing out on a whole lot more, and this level of comfort or ease or life that I'm living could be a whole lot more abundant and fun and happy and connected. So I love that you became aware of that, and then didn't just take that for granted, but have like full steam of head gone after accessing that whole world for yourself, and then, as you said, to give it to others in the best capacity that you can. I love that. And I know that a big part of that is this book that you wrote, Open Your Heart and Journal from Your Soul. And when you told me about that book and what you do with people around that work, I'd love for everyone to just know more about it.
Okay. Yeah, the book is, I have it here, of course, and it's a journal, and it's a writing about a topic, let's say forgiveness or judgment, and then there's a page on the next page. There's a place I'll ask you questions about it and to apply it in your life. And so these messages that came from my Facebook post, where one day I was in a training with Mike Dooley, a mentor of mine, and he was like, everyone has a message to share. What's your message? And I'm like, I have a message. I for sure have a message. And he's like, I do notes from the universe. What are you going to do? And I'm like, I'm going to do Open Your Heart with Deb. I had this like, and so I went home and I started telling my husband about it, and I'm going to put it out. And the next day I put it out on Facebook, pushed send, and went, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Like, who am I to like give these messages? And then the next day I did it again, and I did it again, and people just kept gathering. And then I would be in the grocery store and people would be like, I live for your messages. I read them every day. And I'd be like, you do? Like, oh my gosh, maybe I should keep doing this then. And so I've been doing it for like 6, 7, 8 years. I don't even know now. And what I did is I took those messages and put them into format, because people are like, they're really nice to have them all together. And that's how my journal formed. And then what I do is I realized like I have so much to say about all this. And so I started to teach on it. And I would have health institutes or chiropractic centers or churches reach out to me and say like, can you come and talk? And so I started to do talks on these topics, which was really fun. And again, being a teacher at heart, like that's just so easy for me to do. And then I started doing retreats. And I experienced retreats when I was in yoga teacher training. it changed my life. Leave the house. It's a reset, complete reset. So I'm like, I want to provide that for other people. And so I started doing these retreats in Minnesota, Friday night to Sunday, and these women would come and they would be like signing up again and again and again, because they would just be changed. It was just the most incredible process. And the cool part for me was, as I was preparing these retreats, like I would just get downloads. Like I totally believe this. Like when you're in your flow, when you're in your passion and your purpose, it's all so easy. And I'd be sitting in the living room and I'd get a download on what to do and the exact order of what to do in that retreat. Like I was basically given the schedule and what to say, and I would just show up and be the vessel as it would come out. And people would just be, I'd look at them as I'm talking and they're just looking at me like they're mesmerized. And I mean, it just came through. So that was the beauty. And that's kind of how I built my my client base up and my participant base up and students. And then I went to Bali and did a retreat there, and I was just on fire, and I was doing live events, and I was doing day events where I would invite other people, other speakers to come in, and those were just really taking off. And then last March, COVID, it came along, and the pandemic, and it was literally like I'm on fire, everything's happening, and whew, the rug got pulled out. And I was like, okay, everything I do is out there. So I had to reinvent myself. And luckily I had Wes to help me with this. And I just looked at it like cosmic reset. It's let's go, let's push the reset button, how to reinvent. And I started teaching online, which I was really hesitant to do. I wasn't, and now I love it. So I'm teaching master classes, I'm calling them, Monday mornings. And so I'll do like 3 weeks in a row, and then we take a couple weeks off, 3 weeks in a row. And I've done master classes with topics such as manifesting. After the new year, of course, you want to get into manifesting. I've done energy work, energy codes with using books that I have read, and then I share the book, like Dr. Sue Morter, Energy Code. We did a whole series on that. I was actually trained with her over the last year to teach her work. So, and then I would do topics like forgiveness or judgment or mastering your mind, and using Eckhart Tolle's work. And so it's just turned into this like lovely experience on Monday mornings to start your week. It's kind of like your Sunday. I always thought I'd do something Sunday as well. You're living this is my dream, by the way, to connect with all these people on a Sunday and just set them off into the week. And so that's my master classes on Monday. And then I started picking up coaching clients more than I ever had. And I'm loving that. So I'm able to coach. I'm a coach, I'm a mentor, I'm a teacher. And so it's not your typical coaching experience where you get on a call once a week. It's like I'm holding space for them, and I'm available for them. I send them recordings, a lot, teaching recordings. I make personalized meditations just for them. I send them EFT tapping sessions where, do you know what tapping is? I'm assuming you do, but should I explain more about that for the?
You can explain. I think every EFT practitioner has their own, twist or spin. We have had Catherine Taylor on here before, so.
Okay. Yeah, so people have heard it. Okay.
Yeah,
it's basically, for me, my clients love it because it's just a feel good. It's like they don't even need to know how or why or what it's doing. It's like doing acupuncture where they're going to put needles in you, and it just works. It brings you back into balance. You don't need to believe in acupuncture or the needles. It just happens. And so it's EFT tapping is fabulous for moving energy, moving blocks, moving things that we want to let go of. I mean, I've actually done EFT tapping with kids before. I've had people reach out to me and be like, you know what, my son is really, really fearful of the dark. He doesn't want to be, he wants to sleep in our bedroom. And so they'll do EFT tapping with their son. And then after 2 sessions, boom, he's fine. He's sleeping in the dark. So that's really fun.
Yeah, Deb, again, it's just such a comprehensive toolkit, synergistic toolkit that you're offering to clients and to community. And I'm curious, with all of your, downloads and what you're getting from your sources, what would you, if you had a message to share with the community right now, as we're, still in this kind of problematic, difficult time, but maybe coming out of it, if there was a message that you could share with everyone, what would that be?
I would say that right now, in this time that we're in, is a magical time. And I believe that, it's this new paradigm. We're entering the age of Aquarius. We're in it. And there's energy here that there hasn't been before. And what's happened in the last year has been, yes, it's been very, very hard for people. And at the same time, I can see from a higher perspective that that's what needed to be done in order to have this shift that we're going through. It's a massive, massive shift in going from this lower vibration to this higher vibration, which is entering the planet now. And so anytime you go through change and transformation, you're going to feel, it's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be, you're going to feel discomfort. And so I would say, breathe through that discomfort, reach out, get some help. I've been helping a lot of people capitalize on this time. I call it the great pause. We had a great pause to reinvent and to do the things that you need to do for yourself. And so my big message would be to open your heart. And that is the name of my book, is Open Your Heart, because the thing about the heart is, it's like the heart is everything. It's where the magic is. If your heart is open, life will be, you'll be aligned with source energy. You'll get in the flow, and you're going to wake up and you're going to wake up in a good mood. Your heart's open, and then another thing happens, and it just starts snowballing to this amazing day. If you wake up and your heart's closed, that's low energy. It's low vibe. It's like you're in fear. You're like, what can go wrong with today? What can go wrong with the future, instead of like, what can go right? And so the heart needs to be open. And I work with people not only mentally, like opening their heart, because the ego is can get in the way, right? And I'm teaching people to befriend their ego. It's like a child, and we're never going to kill the ego. We're going to transcend our ego. We're going to we're going to shift the ego and teach the ego and just love it. The ego needs love. The ego needs acceptance. And so with the heart open, it's not just it's a mind thing, but it's also an energetic thing, because I'm a yoga instructor. I'm a meditation teacher. I work with energy. I see energy. I feel it. I know it. And I can see if somebody's heart's closed. It's just a gift that I have. And I will work. I know what to do to help them, assist them, guide them to keep the heart open. It's like, if an example would be, you give your power to everyone out there. Like, your husband says something you don't like, or your partner, your wife, whoever, and you close your heart to protect yourself. You close the heart. Well, you physically close it, and then the energy that's meant to come in and move through it's a block. But you close the heart, and then they apologize, and you like their apology, you open your heart, and then they do something else, and you close your heart. So you're constantly all day long closed, open, and the whole idea is to get to that place of like acceptance, and I don't mind what happens, and having so much energy around you that you can be confronted with something and you might not like it. I'm not saying life will be perfect all the time, but you get to that place where you can keep that heart open. And when the heart is open, then the energy can come through this beautiful source energy that we all can have. It's available 24/7. We just have to plug into it. And man, when you do, I mean, it's beyond what you can even imagine. And if you can stay plugged into that energy, and you train yourself and teach yourself to stay open and allow it to go through, it comes through, it goes down into the earth, grounds into the earth, it comes back up, and it goes around, and it's in this toric field, this unified field around you, that it's like you can think of something and manifest something, and boom, it is there. And that is what I'm teaching people. So that's my message, is, you know, just to teach yourself to empower yourself, take your power back. You are divine, you are divinity, and you have the power. And so many people just it's like handing your power over. I used to be that person. I'd be like, here's my power, take it. You're going to decide how my day is going to go. And so that would be definitely my message. Not putting the person out there doesn't have to do something different so I feel better. I feel better because I am who I am, and I love me, and I'm so full. And what you do doesn't even, it's not even going to affect me. And if it does, if it triggers me, which I work with triggers a lot with people, anything that triggers you is like a gift. It teaches you, like, if you're triggered, there's something inside you that needs to be healed. It's not out there, it's in here. So that's the work that I do.
Yeah, I just love it, Deb. It's in my own personal journey, I have always had a very, full context of what it means to take responsibility for my physical health through nutrition. That's always been very available to me. So, my mission has always been, well, I want to provide opportunities for people to take responsibility for their health. And, over the past couple of years, as it happened with you, my whole world has now opened up, through meeting Wes Hamilton and Catherine Taylor and Donna Kunst and many others, just incredible humans out there in the world that have access to energy and source and can deliver it and teach it. And of course, you, Deb, because that is such an important part of the tool belt. And the more that we can all be empowered in ourselves, that's where we really impact change in our world. And it takes self-care. You have to care about yourself, and you have to put in the work. So I love that you're helping people and guiding people to put in the work. So thank you so much, Deb, for being with us, for all the incredible work that you do. Thank you for taking the time to share with us.
Yeah, thank you.
And please, let's open it up. Just start waving at me for any comments or questions for Deb, and I will call on you. All right, I got Lorelei.
I just wanted to say, Deb, that my heart, I could feel your energy. My heart is so expanded right now that it's quite lovely to be in this space with you. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you so much for that feedback.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lorelei. I totally agree. Peg, I saw you waving. You're still on mute. Oh, there you go.
Here am I?
Yeah.
Yes. I want to thank Deb. It was a wonderful presentation and very insightful and good. I also like to talk about the journey of opening the heart. I'm into my 86th year, and there's a lot of us that are damaged goods, and it's our responsibility to refurbish ourselves. So I about 15 years ago, being aware of the armor around my heart, I found a practitioner and we did EMDR. That was very, very helpful. But it's about patience and loving self-care, and the heart will open because that's what it wants to do. But there are a lot of little inner children that we carry around that are very conditioned and very afraid. And so we need to be patient and encouraging about opening the heart.
Well, thank you, Peg. That's such an inspiring and beautiful message. You know, just to say, like, the work's never over. You know, I'm sure that Deb and Wes and anyone who are, you know, even masters at, you know, their modality would still tell you the work never stops, and you constantly have to be vigilant about your own self-care and learning and growing. And again, so inspirational, 86 years old, that you're still diving in. I love it.
I love it too.
Thank you, Peg. Anyone else with a comment or a question? Carla B. You're on mute, Carla. Carla, you're on mute. You're on mute. There you go.
Okay. Oh, where'd she go? My screen changed. Wait a minute. There you are. Deb, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's such a delight to hear you speak with this deluge of blessing. Just one thing after another, and all opening and all uplifting, and just it feels as if you're just in the current of blessing, and it's really wonderful. It's a wonderful example for people, and certainly for me. I love it. Thank you.
Thank you. That was that warms my heart. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Carla. That was beautifully said. Anyone else with a comment or a question? Yes, Wes, go for it.
It's really been fun to watch you, Deb, as you've transitioned from being just a teacher into being this amazing master. And the thing I've observed about Deb is every time she learns something, she shares it right away. And Deb is one of the few teachers I've ever experienced that rarely promotes anything. She offers it and the classes fill up. So we wait for her to offer something so that we can learn something new. So thanks, Deb. You're amazing.
Thank you, Wes. I love you. Thank you.
Thank you, Wes. Absolutely fantastic. Anyone else with a comment or a question? Russell, go for it.
Yeah, thanks, Brian. And thank you, Deb, for a demonstration of being in the flow. I must admit, I read the CoffeeHouse introduction, but this is my first experience of you. And I've had lots of experience over the last 66 years of my life in all kinds of workshops and all kinds of teachers and all kinds of events. And I think that's what Peg and Carla and Wes were certainly commenting on, but I experienced it too. I experienced an opening of my own heart and felt that some of the things you were saying were speaking directly to me. And but mostly I just wanted to acknowledge your freedom. And it is rare to see someone who is truly in the flow of their own passion and gifts. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. That means a lot.
Thank you, Russell. Yeah, just absolutely beautiful. Peg, I did see you raise your hand again, if you would like to share something. You are muted again. Oh,
There, there. I just, a fragment of a song keeps reverberating through my system. And it's like this. We're gathered together to ask the Lord's blessing. And I don't remember the lyrics from there, but I had to share it because it wouldn't be pressed down anymore.
I love it, Peg. Just singing in your own light. I totally love it. Thank you for sharing. Okay, everyone. Well, again, thank you so much, Deb, and thank you, everyone, for participating. That was beautiful. And in accordance with our commitment to all of you to send you off with a big smile and incredible energy. And speaking of blessings, Deb is going to bless us all and guide us in a short exercise. So Deb, I'll hand it off to you to send us on our way.
Okay. I'm gonna play music, Brian. So if it doesn't sound right, you just let me know that. But I play music to open the heart, and so we can connect. And Peg, I love your song. Thank you. That was really good. So I'm gonna put in some music, and you'll have to let me know, Brian. I'll just give me the signal if for some reason it's not right. But
Yeah, it's perfect, Deb. Go for it.
Okay. Okay, so go ahead and get comfortable. And it's a short meditation to open the heart. It's a heart opening activation. And so put your feet on your floor if you can. Sit up nice and tall. Close your eyes if you're able to. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Soften your mind. Good, and when you're ready, take a deep breath in. Breathe in deep. Breathe into the belly. Hold your breath if you can. Exhale, sigh it out. Just release and let go. Good. And when you're ready, take another deep cleansing breath in. Breathe in through your nose. Your mouth is closed. Feel your breath go down into the lower belly. Hold your breath. And when you're ready, exhale, let it go. Good. Let's take one more deep breath in. Connect with your body. So feel yourself connecting with your body on an inhale. Your belly expands. Hold your breath. Exhale, release. Beautiful. And again, relax your mind. Tell your mind it can take a break. And gently lean back into your spine, opening your heart even more. Good. And now let's connect with the quantum energy all around us. This vast energy wants to connect with you. So take your awareness to the base of your spine, to your root chakra. Feel this area. And imagine there's a cord connecting to that area, and it lowers down to the center of the earth. It easily goes down. Feel your energy ground in, grounding into the center of the earth. Good. And now take your attention to the top of your head, the crown chakra. And feel this area connecting high above you, connecting to the sun in the sky, going out into the ethers. And allow this bright light from above to come down. This high frequency energy that can flow down and starting to fill you up. And bring your awareness to the heart center, to the middle of your chest, behind your sternum. Bringing it to the area, the midpoint where the earth and the sky meet within us. It's where your soul resides. Start to feel everything there. Everything happens right in the center of the chest, in the heart center. Start to feel it opening up. And then think about someone or more than one person who you are grateful for. Picture that person or people in your mind's eye. Picture them loving you. Feeling all the love in the heart, filling up your heart, expand the heart center. Being grateful. Feeling this love and light and gratitude in the heart center. And now take that feeling and double it. Good, now double it again, expanding out of the body into the room, getting bigger and bigger. Good. And now is it as if you could breathe into the center of your chest. Breathe into the center of the chest for the count of 5. Open and expand that area. Hold for 2. Exhale for 5. Send love and light out into the room you're in. To everyone on this Zoom call. Good. Inhale in the middle of the heart center for 5. Fill up your heart with love and light. Hold. Exhale it out into the world. Keep exhaling and opening, expanding. Good. One more time. Inhale, light, love, peace, joy, freedom into the heart. Open and expand. Hold. And then send it out. Extending out to everyone who needs it. Good. And just notice how you feel. Tune into the sensations in your body right now. Notice your heart is open. Memorize this feeling. Feel the energy swirling around you. Starting to feel your mind, body, and spirit becoming one. Feeling balanced and whole. Feel the oneness. Your heart is open. Your heart starts to smile. Feel the peace. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. And when you're ready, you can come back, take your time. Just notice how you feel. You're now aligned, tapped in, centered, grounded. Namaste.
Oh, wow. You know, all I can think right now is I want so many more people to be here. Oh gosh, Deb, that was absolutely beautiful, brilliant. You know, I love the part of doubling the joy or the love, you know, thinking about someone or many people. Absolutely beautiful moment. And you have many gifts, and certainly that is one of them, an extraordinary gift that you have. And thank you for sharing it with us. And for everyone, please just hold this space and this energy. If you can give someone a real hug today, do it with your whole heart. If you can do it virtually, do it virtually. Just take what you've gotten today and share it. Please just share it, share it, share it. Deb, thank you for your beautiful grace. And everyone, happy Sunday. We'll see you all next week. Thanks for joining.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thanks. Thank you so much, Deb. Thank you, Brian. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, Deb.
Have a wonderful week.
Thank
You
you.
too.